Hi everyone, I'm back. We are back. Trip is over. We're home. The trip was successful, adventurous, fun, challenging. Another milestone accomplished. Now we're home and letting the sickness take over. Steve has got the viral flu there in bed today, and I'm not far behind. So I wanted to rip out here today, get a day's worth of work in before I'm him tomorrow or the next day. Now I should have put this on before. This is before I realized I needed to put it on. So I'm just gonna staple it on the outside, I guess. So I pulled all the siding out. I pulled my whatever I have for battens. See them? And I think that's Johnny, but Johnny looks like Johnny had a rough winter. I think his tail got broken. I think it's the same one. He came right up to me and just about crawled up my leg like he used to last year, but he looks in rough shape. Anyway, I pulled everything out down there because I have a wide variety of widths and looks with that cedar, so I want to make sure that I'm staggering everything as much as possible. Doesn't quite look like it's going to be enough, but that's okay. I have more of that wood at home that I can mill. I figure let's just get started. And I don't know why I always want to start on this side. I should probably start somewhere else, because this is the first one you see when you come here, this side basically, but I'm just gonna start on this side. how I wanted to do the corner. Rather than having blocky trim, I thought I would take one of the wider pieces and split it this way at 45-degree angles. And this is my corner now. But I need to cut the top out a bit. It's hitting this rafter. Naturally, there's this cutout right here, which is, I think, a really kind of cool feature. Unfortunately, it kind of landed right where there's a line between the battens, but oh well. I did get some trim head screws. There's always going to be a few mistakes along the whole way, but especially in the beginning as I figure this out. How to cut that? So this is definitely going to take a lot longer than I thought. I've had to take this one siding down, up and down, probably like 10 times to try to fit it because these boards are the shape of the tree essentially. So they're like twisted. So I can't really rely on what is plumb from the outside edges because this particular board kind of goes like this. So I'm trying to just match it, and it's supposed to look funky, but it just makes it really tricky. And then, yeah, trying to get the height the same is difficult because as the boards come out, the slope of the roof makes it difficult to gauge the actual height that the board needs to be. So I think there's going to be a little bit of discrepancy at the bottom. I feel like at this point I just want to get things done, and I'm just not going to be too fussy about it because it is what it is. Like all my bug screen stuff I don't think is really going to be that effective because I think it really needed to be a lot longer because my siding comes out so much. It doesn't really have enough to kind of come down. Just lots of little things that I'm realizing aren't quite up to snuff. We'll get there. I need to remember to keep a gap up at the top for air. And then I'm going to figure out the bug screen after it's... So everything at the bottom, I'm cutting at a 45-degree angle. Pretty much everything at the top too. And I'm also trying to pay attention to the crowning of the boards. And I think the pattern should be that they all crown the same. And I have to kind of pick, it's kind of tricky because the stuff I want to show goes both ways. So I'm just going to kind of assess each of them as I go along. Okay. Quick tea break. Glad I brought that toque because it's cold out. Cold breeze. Tea time is over. I know a lot of you are probably wondering and saying, why are you doing vertical siding? You should do horizontal lap siding. And the simple answer to that is that my brain told me to. That's the short version. The longer version is that when I first milled that wood into the live edge like that, 2 years ago I think that was, the first thing that came to my mind was that that would look really cool as siding. And because of the cool shapes of it all, vertical reverse board and batten instantly came to my mind. I ended up putting it horizontally on the shed because the shed was so small that I didn't think that there was enough surface area for the width of the board for it to really look good. So I did horizontal on the little shed, but I literally can't help myself. It's going to bother me if I didn't do it vertically on the cabin, because I'm dying to know what it looks like. Every time I see any kind of vertical siding, my eye is just instantly drawn to it. It just is different. It's just a different look. When we were in Arola in Switzerland, a tiny little town that we stayed in just before we traversed up the glacier into one of the cabins, our hotel room had vertical reverse board and batten, almost identical to what I'm doing. And I just think it looks so unique. So I'm daring to be different. See, the crown of this board is different than this board, but I'm making it so that the edges are facing out. I think the other thing that I need to do and to pay attention to is to not have the narrow part up at the top every time, even though it sort of makes sense that way, but at the same time it doesn't, because it gradually is just going to, I think the gaps at the top are just going to get bigger and bigger. So I'm going to have to start to offset. This next one is kind of a tricky cut because I have to know exactly where it's going to lay before I can notch out that rafter. And this board is got quite a twist. I wonder if I should pick a different one. I'm not sure that it's going to have enough coverage at the bottom. It goes like this. So in order for me to see, I need to notch out the rafter, but I need to notch out the rafter exactly how it's going to go in order to find out. Things that make you go, I decided to pick a more straight board. I'm just looking at that, thinking that I probably should have extended these two here all the way up to the ceiling height. That would have been better. Or I redo it, and I don't think I want to redo it. I'll figure something out. now to figure this part out. I have to cut out that. Some sketchy custom cuts by Michelle. Okay, I made like a window, like a buck, I guess you could call it. This is why this is why I didn't do anything along here before, is because I wasn't sure what I was gonna do. I don't really want trim. And there's a few ways I guess I could do it probably better than I'm going to, but I think I'm just gonna stick with this. Yeah, basically. Go like that once I cut this out. But I wanted to put this bucking on first so that I had a line to reference from rather than cutting this wildly. I'm gonna try and stick a pencil in there and draw a line. See how that goes. Okay, I took this thing and just like wrapped my hand in there and was able to create a line with it. The other thing is this, I did get this drip edge stuff, so I may as well use it. It would go, I think, like this against here, and then I would put the siding on over top, but I was thinking ahead and wanting to make sure that I could still open the window, and the window won't open with it like this, so I have to change something. You'll have to cut the siding up a little bit higher. And by George, an hour or so later, I think I have this piece finally good to go. I think I should probably get something for the bottom here. I don't think this is gonna work, but I'll figure that part out after. I can sneak it in after, I think, because this siding is going to be a little bit proud to the windowsill. I realize a mistake I made. I don't have a reverse batten reveal here, so I have to think about this. I think I'm gonna have to take that apart. It's a drag. I think I need to take this top buck out and just stick with the reverse, just stick with the siding, I think. I don't know. This one fell and this little corner broke off. I did find some very old glue. that's almost hard as a rock. But I got a little bit. Naturally. Just as soon as I finished putting that last one on there, I was like, ooh, I think I should put a skinnier one, because then I can take the next one and line it up and bring it down, and it would look perfect if I had a skinnier one. I found one. So I have to move everything over. Alright, you guys, it is 7 p.m. I've cleaned up and I have to go. I got a good start. I feel like I got a good start. I have to fix my mistake. The top, I'll sort that out next time, but at least I'm on a roll, and at least I know, I'm pretty sure I'm going to need to mill some more stuff. Anyway, that's it. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.